Hi, I'm Blisy.
Hey, if you enjoy the video, consider clicking like, subscribe, bell notification, and the join button. Becoming a channel member is only $4.99 a month. It really helps me out, and you get a bunch of perks like these badges for how long you've been a member for. You get these emojis for my live stream chats, and you get access to my videos when I upload them instead of when I release them. So thanks so much, and enjoy the video. Hey everyone, this is a video of me going over every single one of the competitive Pokemon that I own. I'm going to split this into three parts. One of my Gen 3, 4, and 5 Pokemon, one of the Gen 6 Pokemon, and one of all of the Gen 7 Pokemon. And I'm going to cover the memories that I have with these Pokemon, how they came about, like all the stories about them in battles I've used them in if I can remember, and stuff like that. This video is in... I'm making this video for two reasons, really. One of my channel members, Brian Ruiz, has been suggesting this for quite a while, and I think what finally made me pull the trigger to do this was the fact that not all Pokemon are going to be available in Galar. It's upsetting me more than I thought it would, and, you know, grasping with, like, the reality of it, I guess, it makes me just want to kind of cover all of my precious Pokemon children and the memories that I have with them, I suppose. And so I just want to talk about them I just want to talk about them. And if you're interested in my thoughts on the full, like, Galar not being, you know, able to send Pokemon into Galar if they're not from the Galar decks, and you want me to make a video on that kind of thing, I'm sure it's beaten to death by a trillion other PokeTubers, but if you're interested in that, just put in the comments and I'll get around to making it. And so this is going to be Pokemon from Gen 3, 4, and 5. And the reason I'm doing it like this is A, I've got lots of them from 3, 4, and 5, but also the way I organize my boxes is because of the metagames. Pokemon that are pre-6 can't be used in any official Nintendo metagame. Gen 6 Pokemon from Kalos can still be used in Gen 7's Battle Spot, but not in the VGC metas. So Gen 7, so the way I've organized it is anything pre-6 can only be used in Smogon metas, or the free-for-all Nintendo ones if you really want to do it, but I don't like those because there's no restrictions, is garbage. And then, you know, Gen 6 can be used in Battle Spot doubles and singles, but not like VGC. And then the Gen 7 is for VGC stuff only, so let's get into it right now. We're going to start with... Who's this Yuxi? Okay, so this Yuxi, I don't know if it's... So, this is a Mon... I'll actually do it last. Okay. So this is a Zapdos. This was the Zapdos I learned how to RNG roaming Pokemon in Diamond Pearl. Not, in Platinum in. This was one of the birds from that game, I believe. It's why it's Japanese. It's one of my only Japanese games. This is my Gen 4 games. So this was the Professor Oak thing. I actually believe I might have even got this in a tutorial video. On my channel where I teach you how to RNG it. This was when Defog was getting kind of like I bred this to use in Gen 6 meta because Defog was like getting big, and Zapdos could learn Defog through Gen 4. This was before it was like tutored to everyone, and so I just wanted to breed like a defensive Spadef Zapdos. I don't know if I've ever even used it in battle, but yeah, that's the story behind this one. Oh, this is a similar situation, except this is after Sun and Moon came out, so Defog was available via Ultra Sun and Moon and stuff. Tutor was available then. I used the 8F glitch to make this shiny. The nickname Zapatumi, not thought out too much. There was a song called, I think, Rocketumi by Caravan Palace or something like that. I was just into at the time, so I just fudged a Zapdos name the best of it that I could. Basically the same exact set, except it's bold with static. The hidden ability, I think, I love hacking people, so I love this hidden ability, and bold Zapdos is actually much better than Spadef Zapdos, so this is the one I use much more often. So now we're getting to my Clefables. I love Clefable. Clefable is one of my favorite Pokemon. I actually have a crazy story about Clefable. I don't know if any of these are... You're not that Clefable. No, you're not. There's another Clefable that might be down the line somewhere. I don't know where it's at, if I even have it with me. It might still be in my Gen 4 games, but basically, back in Gen 4, I read Smogon analysis of Clefable, and there was this crazy Clefable wall breaking set where you like run 2-5-2 in both attacking stats, and you just and everyone expects Clefable to kind of be back in Gen 4. Everyone expected Clefable to be kind of run like a discount Blisy, where it would be like a special tank, but it had a little bit more versatility in what it could do. But this set was just like run a bunch of attacking moves, and like run a bunch of special attacking moves, and also double edge. So like the idea would be like you bring it out, they switch to something, and you like fire blasted or you T-bolted or something, and they're like, oh, it's a special attacking one. Bring in the Blisy, and they bring in the Blisy, and you bam, you double edge them, you destroy them, and that's when I got into Clefable. So that's why I have so many of them, and so all of these are proudly RNG'd in my I believe these are all from my Emerald version, and God, my Jap. These are not from my Jap. These are from my English Emerald version. I have 2 Emeralds, and I just love Clefable, and so I just wanted to get a bunch of Clefable sets. Once I started getting into ORAS, when I found out how good Clefable was in these gens, and I was doing my Emerald breeding tutorial, I wanted to just knock out a bunch of Clefables, get them all ready to use. So these were bred for the Gen 6 meta, but, you know, and most of these sets aren't as applicable in Gen 7. You could still use Clefable like this. I don't think it's the best that way, but I actually think this set's the best for modern Clefable usage. The names are, so regrettably, this one has been forgotten to be nicknamed, very regrettably. This one, Pinla, I have 2 Pinlas. I think they actually have the same exact, like this is basically the same exact Pokemon. I might have even cloned it, I'm not positive, but I EV trained them differently. And Pinlet was just like a random name. I don't know where it came from. I kind of just would nickname for a while. I was doing nicknames where I'd be like Pinlet. Like I'd just be like, okay, that sounds good. And yeah, that's just what it nicknames. There's no real reason behind the nickname. This one, Superstar, that's my old school Clefable nickname. This is what I nickname all my Clefables back in the day. I don't really know why. The star had something to do with the fact that Clefable's like from space or whatever. The Supa, yeah, it's just kind of, it was kind of like Weeby. I'd nickname it in Japanese. So I had a Clefable in my Japanese Pearl version. I nicknamed Supa Suta, like in katakana, and that's how I did it. And it was just kind of like a Weeby thing. And so I tend to name Clefable this a lot. But this is my favorite set to use, just all out attacking Clefable with a healing move. It's super fun. We have a P2 here. If you notice, the trainer name is Echo. Echo was a good friend of mine back in the day, back in Gen 4. He used to be an admin on the website I ran, Pokecentral 101. If any of you guys are watching this and you actually went to that, it was a Zat chat and a forum, and I also had a YouTube channel called Disasterpiece0302. And so this is from these days. We even actually had a trading thread on Maryland. Where my trading name might have been Super Flanker. It would have been like something like Super Flanker and Echo's trade thread. And so Echo bred the P2, or no, yes. So the way it would work is Echo would do the breeding and I would do the EV training. So Echo bred this Porygon 2, and that's why it's not nicknamed. And then he traded over to me to EV train, and this was like this is supposed to be sort of like a Gyarados counter, where you could switch this in on Gyarados, it would intimidate it, and then you would just destroy it. Yeah, it was pretty fun to use, I would say. That's all I have to say about P2, but any Pokemon that has the Echo's name, gonna bring back a trillion memories to me. I mean, this actually, I think this Blisy is also from that. Yeah, this is another Blisy from Echo, who bred this Blisy for me, or for us. We would clone all of them as well. Echo and I both had action replays, so we would breed one, and then I would EV train it, and then I would clone it, and I'd give him a clone back. Again, it's not nicknamed for the same reasons. It actually used to have a Japanese name, but when I traded it up, it lost the Japanese name. And if you actually notice, it's only got max HP and defense. I think its SPDF is probably like 28 or 30 or something. But we, back in DPP, if you couldn't RNG, you could like only hope to get like 3 perfect stats, unless you had an insane amount of patience. And so, you know, we weren't looking for anything perfect, and I would use this Pokemon in actual battles, right? And one of the cool things was if I evolved it in my game, it would keep the Japanese name. So this would evolve and it would be in Japanese, it would say happiness. But when I traded it up to English games, it became Blisy, because it wasn't nicknamed. So it would just change the name, which is a little bit sad, but, you know, that's how it goes. I mean, it was just like a kind of a standard set, right? S-Toss for consistent damage. Ice Beam, because I think when we bred this, Garchomp was, like, around. Like, and even if Garchomp wasn't around, Mence was. Like, it was worth it to carry this. And then Soft Boiled and T-Wave, 2 standard things. Uxie, this I definitely RNG'd in my White 2 version. That's where the name Flower is from. I like to nickname, or not nickname, I like to name a lot of the girls after food-based things. So I'll do like, oh, you know what this stems from? My buddy Blake always nicknamed his girls like what he would deem like stripper names, so like Candy. He did Candy a lot, and so I was doing Sugar for a while. But then when I got into like baking as like a career path, I was doing like Flour. I was doing, I did Sugar, Flour. I feel like I have had a soda at some point, like for baking soda. So I did stuff like that. And this Uxie is not even completely done yet. I think it's EV trained, but I'm not positive. I love Uxie, yo. And so this was just meant to be like a lower tier SR user kind of tank thing. Nothing too much to say about that Uxie. So now we're getting into the attack section. This is another, actually don't even know what your stats are. Oh, so you are perfect. So this is just another RNG by me. It is just a Cobalion. I was going through a period where I wanted to really like knock out and finish all of the stationary RNGs in White 1 and Black, or like all my White version games basically. This is from White 2. It's not from White 1 because my White 1 I collected all of the Pokemon. And so I never even finished RNGing all the stationaries. This at the time was probably the best Cobalion set on Smogon. I did that a lot, where I would just like look up, like when I wanted to just RNG something, I would just like look up the most common set in the tier if it didn't have any listings for viability in OU. And so I just probably an SD set and UU or something was the most viable set. And so I just RNG'd it real quick, and then I think it's EV trained. If they're in these boxes, they're EV trained. Up next, a Metagross. Oh, bred by an Agilagross bred by Echo. With T-Punch. Was this bred in an Emerald version of his, maybe? I'm not actually positive. Let's see where it's from. He might have hacked T-Punch onto it. Does Metagross just get T-Punch? I'm not sure. It's from Sinnoh, but I don't know if it would say if it's from Ho, and I'm not positive how that would work. But, needless to say, another cherished memory of EV training Metagross. Oh, and a lot of people would be wondering, like, oh, why doesn't it have Rock Polish? It's actually because TMs were limited in Diamond and Pearl, so I would use Agility over Rock Polish because I didn't want to waste my freaking I either used the DM or I didn't want to waste the TM or whatever, what have you. This was probably the most covered to the time. This set is unchanged from DPP, so this is like a DPP Metagross. And as you can see, it's only got 3 perfect stats. Attack and speed is all we cared about, and we just got lucky and it got perfect Spadef as well. Adamant, though. I don't know if I would run an Adamant Agilagross today. Gliscor, this is, his nickname is Pincha, I believe, is what I was going for there. This was a SD stall breaking Gliscor I bred on my own in my Pearl version. Then the name is Goludo, so it's supposed to be like gold. I would name a lot of my files gold after when I loved gold and silver growing up, and I named my trainer gold in all caps in gold and silver. So a lot of my save files are named gold just because that was the game. Like I kind of like to represent like Kid Jake, right? And so I would name all of my save files gold to kind of represent myself from when I was a little kid, I suppose is the best way to put that. So this is just kind of a standard stall-breaking Gliscor, Ice Fang, EQ, Swords Dance, and Roost with Hyper Cutter, so I can't get intimidated. This is kind of like it can take any hit from any physical attacker pretty much, or any wall, you SD in its face and you just destroy it. And I bred this in my Pearl version on my own. Let's see its stats. 3 best. Hey, this is a really good stat spread for like, you know, DPP non-RNG abuse. I bred this when I was like 12, dude. Not 12, like 14, 15, I probably bred this. This is a really old friend of mine. I would say that much. This T-Tar, I think, is also from another game. Let's see. Porto Beach, yeah. This one was bred in my English Diamond, I believe. Oh, and all of these Japanese breeds are probably from Pearl. I did a lot of breeding before Platinum came out, and then I don't think I did much breeding in Platinum itself, because I didn't have a lot of the items in it. I'd already amassed all of the items in Pearl version, right? So I would just use the items from there. Okay, so we have this T-Tar named Porto Beach, bred in my English Diamond. Yeah, that's pretty good. Weird set. I think was a CB T-Tar, and judging by the adamant nature, Stone Edge, EQ, Crunch, Aquatail. Very fun set, it seems. I know I used this a little bit, but I can't remember when I used it for in battle. It was so long ago. Another breed by me and Echo. This was a mix nape with grass knot to lure Swampert. So I think the idea would be I'd be spamming U-turn and close combat and Mach Punch, and like if you have Mach Punch on Ape, you're probably pure physical, and so I think they would start to think, and even special Swampert or special Invernapes I don't think ran grass knot that much. So this is just like a very fun set. As you can see, I don't even have max special attack on this, but it was definitely just destroying Swampert. What's your special attack? Oh no, I do have max special. My markings are incorrect. My markings are for max HP, and it doesn't even have that. So it's got all the attacking stats maxed out. That's all it needs. It just needs to destroy Swampert with Grass Knot. A very fun set. I have multiple Infernapes from Echo, but I think the rest of them might be in the prior gen, or they might even be over here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get to them when I get to them. I don't think I have too much else to say about this Infernape. Any Echo OT is like a pretty precious Pokemon to me. They mean a lot to me. And I'm actually like afraid to transfer them into Pokemon Home, knowing that they might not show up. Do you know what I mean? So, we'll see. I've definitely used this thing in many battles before, though. Infernape was such a good Pokemon in Gen 4, and it was just really fun to use. And it was surprisingly usable in Gen 5, honestly. Okay, Mudboy the Swampert. I believe this was used in my playthrough of Ruby version, where I found like a shiny on every single route. I RNG'd, you know, an adamant guy, and then I just hypertrained this boy. Yeah, I think this was this is a Swampert from a stream playthrough, and I went with a its set is meant to just be for a sweeping rain sweeping Mega Swampert. I decided to hypertrain it up and trade it up to here. And so this was RNG'd in Gen 3 live on my Ruby playthrough stream. If you actually want to see me get Mudboy, I had to train him. I EV trained him, removed all his EVs in ORAS, EV trained him in ORAS, leveled him to 100 in ORAS, and then hyper trained him in my Moon version, probably. Sandy. I don't have recollection. Oh, do you know what this is from? So a while ago, a long time ago, when I first learned about RNG, I loved Gen 5 so much. I was so happy this existed. So what I wanted to do was RNG every single RNG and get the best set for every single Unnovan Pokemon. And that fell through. I got through probably half of the lower forms. I stopped at Woobat because I wanted to get a simple Woobat, and it took me forever before I realized you can RNG Hidden Grotto, but I couldn't find one, and I don't know if I just couldn't find a way to RNG Hidden Grottos at the time or whatever, but I eventually did, but that basically put my project on a halt. And so I just ended up trading all of them up and salvaging the one, and all of their sets became outdated and stuff, and so I just ended up salvaging the ones that had good, you know, spreads and whatnot still. So this one's Jolly, Moxie, still good. Obviously Intimidate's better, but this could be utilized for like a, and you can see it's not even, its moveset's not even done yet. And I actually don't love Sandy Kruger. I like the colors, but the sunglasses are just too cool to be not having. So I actually prefer the standard form, but we have it here. And probably never used in battle. Alright, so we have the Rack. This is the Dream World Landorus that is an Impish Landorus. What a waste of a hidden ability Landorus. Can I just say that? Holy moly. So first of all, this is obviously a hidden ability Landorus because it's got the Dream Ball. That means it's from Dream Radar, one of my playthroughs of that. It's nicknamed the Rack. So this went to my White 2 version. The Rack is a really funny story. The Rack is... one of my friends, Derek, I met him through my girlfriend. He was living at my girlfriend's parents' house for a little while. Because he was friends with my girlfriend's older brother. They did military stuff together. And he wanted to go to college in the state that I live in, and because there was a good physics program there, and my girlfriend's parents are very generous people, let him just kind of live in their attic. And his name is Derek, and he was like coming home from the city one day or something, and her dad texted, my girlfriend's dad texted her saying like, is the Rack home, or pick the Rack up from the bus stop. And we were like, what's the Rack? And it's because he uses text-to-speech on his phone a lot, and so he meant to say Derek, but it said the text-to-speech picked up the Rack, and so that's why it's nicknamed the Rack. I had just RNG'd it and was maybe finishing EV training it, and I was like, oh, what should I nickname it? And so it was nicknamed the Rack just because of that. And it's just your typical defensive Lando T with a rock, stone edge, U-turn, impish, rocky helmet. There's the most bog standard Lando T on the universe from my White 2 flower. Mudslide is binary. So this is a Landorus from my Black 1 version. That's what the OT binary is from. You can't see I don't think you can see the trainer ID, can you? You can. So you get the joke with the trainer ID 10101. I just thought it was funny. It was basically right after I learned how to RNG trainer IDs, and I was like, oh, this is a fun gimmick one to have instead of RNGing for an actual spread. This was meant to be more of an offensive CB Lando. That's all I got to say about that one. I've used it before, I'm sure, certainly. The name Mudslide is because my favorite band in the universe, The Darkness, had released a new album at the time, and the song Mudslide was one of my favorites on the album. This is a clone of that Landorus. I must have clone glitched it with a trade glitch at some point. I don't know why. Maybe I intended to give it different moves. I don't know what's up with this. But there's two of them there. And for the record, the clone glitch would have probably been the ORAS clone glitch I used the most, which was turning your DS off during trades. I used that a lot. There you go. That's all I got to say. Also, I think this is wrong. It probably doesn't have max special attack. Yeah, the markings are wrong. Okay. So next we have a Terrakion named Raldi? What kind of name is that? Hey, what's up with you? So this is for my binary. Like I say, I don't typically go for shiny spreads. Now here's a question. If I could get this Lander as shiny, why is this Terrakion not shiny? What a world I live in. Oh, it's because it's Jolly, not... Oh no, I have two. I don't know why I wouldn't have made this shiny, because if this is shiny, this could have been shiny. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I RNG'd this first and didn't RNG Landorus until later. But regardless, this is from the same game, the same black version. Clearly got a very good spread. If you look at it, it was RNG'd 4 Gen 5. But I must have given it Iron Head in ORAS. This was clearly for a choice band set. CB Terrakion, one of my favorite Gen 5 mons. It's such a destructive wall breaker. It's so disgustingly powerful in that gen. And, I wish I left a lot of these mons back there, but there's nothing I can do about that now. Really fun set to use. If you've never used CB Terrakion in Gen 5, you'll get on it. It's sick. It's so destructively powerful. So, that's all I gotta say about that. I have no idea what's up with the nickname. Oh, if you'll notice, a lot of them are caught in Master Balls. I hack in Master Balls all the time. I'm very impatient when it comes to catching. But I like the Pokemon itself to be legit. And I'm even weaning off of that hacking in Master Balls shit being okay. I don't really do it anymore. Rake. So this is the same exact one, except it's Jolly. Because I have come to believe Jolly is superior in the modern gens. Adamant is probably still runnable in 5, but nowadays you gotta run Jolly. Same exact set, though. It's meant to be a CB Terrakion, but you could use it as Scarf if you wanted. And the name is Rake because that's kind of like how you would abbreviate it, right? Like people would be like, oh, T-Tar, Nape, Pert, and so like my was like kind of like Rake, like Terrakion, like Rake, and also like raking up kills kind of thing. That's kind of why his name is like that. I'm sure I've used this in the past. Sick mon. I love this mon. So this is Flank. Are you from my white version? Let's see. So I think this is from the same vein as yeah, 07448. This is from my white 1 version. This is the same reason Sandy exists. They are from that breeding project. The name Bubblegum is because it looks like bubblegum with the coloring. It is Sandrush Sweeper, probably just meant to be paired with the T-Tar. You know, before this was banned in black and white is when it was bred. Obviously, it's banned now, and it's up here, and I could still use it if I wanted. And I've actually probably used it before. Sandrush Excadrill is actually still pretty good, even with an adamant nature. This is like a very usable Pokemon. A very, very cool Pokemon. I love the nickname. There's a few other Pokemon in nickname Bubblegum. I tend to do this with Politoed, so we'll see if that pops up. Bips. This is also from that project, except I didn't breed it shiny. It's a Jolly Sheer 4-star Manitan, sick mon to CB, or to Scarf. You basically play it the same way you'd play it in Infernape, except you only use physical moves, and it hits way harder. This is the same thing where Bubblegum and Sandy came from. It's just a breed. I just couldn't get a shiny one, I guess, at the time, or wasn't patient enough to get a shiny one. The name Bips is because when I first played through Black and White, I got one, I named it Dips, and now I just kind of name them like this. So I just name them like Dips, Pips, Bips, Tips, all these kinds of just Ips with a consonant in the front. So that's just why I name them like that. This is just such a fun mon to use. Very destructive, very powerful, very good to use in singles with U-turn. Very fun. So, are you from? I think, is this really from? I don't have any recollection breeding this Garchomp. Outrage Fire Blast. So this is a weird set. Maybe this is just not a finished Garchomp, but Panic is the name of the Garchomp I used to play through X and Y versions in the story mode. I played through my Y version. I love Garchomp. Garchomp's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, probably top 5 for me. Garchomp is just, and the reason it's a favorite of mine is, first of all, obviously I think it looks pretty cool, but in Gen 5, this was the most hilarious Pokemon, right? Rough Skin, Jolly, I would basically always slap a Rocky helmet on, and basically, oh my, I'm falling asleep. I hope that didn't mess the recording up. But basically, the way I would use this Pokemon is I would just set up rocks, and my friend Blake and I would do this all the time on Showdown. We'd set up rocks. If we got an opportunity to SD, we would. Otherwise, we would literally just click the Outrage button until this thing dies, and it would just destroy teams. It was so funny to use this Pokemon and just kill it. So I love using Garchomp in Gen 5. Nowadays, it's a bit of a harder Pokemon to use, but it's still very good, I think. And I could easily use this Pokemon today. I would just have to change its moveset around a little bit. But the name Panic implies that it was bred after Gen 6 by me, and I must have just bred it in Gen 5 because it's easy to breed in Gen 5, right? What do we got here? Mr. Gibbs. Naive Sandvale. Okay, so this is from Flower. This is actually, I RNG'd this Garchomp in a video. I think it's from my How to RNG gift Pokemon in Black and White 2. So this is given to you as an egg by Champion Alder's grandson after defeating the Black Tower in Black version 2. And so this is the reward for that. He gives you a guaranteed shiny Gibble in Black version, or it would be a Dratini in White. I went with Gibble because Garchomp in modern gens is completely, you could use it effectively with Sandvale, right? Especially since this one is meant to be a mixed attacking Mega, or just a mixed attacker in general. But damn, Dratini is not usable, or Dragonite is not usable without multi-scale in modern gens. or even in Gen 5. So I was just like, I'm not getting a Dratini without multi-scale. This is not happening. So I opted to go with this one. And so I love Special Lore Garchomp. I think that shit's hilarious. So yeah, the name is Mr. Gibbs because I just really like Pirates of the Caribbean. And so sometimes I just name stuff like that. That's all I gotta say about that one. This is an Altaria that I forgot to nickname. It was from Dream Radar, and I believe it was maybe from the video where I teach you how to RNG in the Dream Radar. If not, I definitely RNG'd it from there. I think Mega Altaria is a really cool Pokemon, and so I just wanted to get one. Just a DD Mega Altaria. Just a very clean mon. A very fun mon to use. Don't have much else to say about that one. I don't know if I've ever even used it in a battle. I love this Pokemon. Okay, so this is another gift. It's not a gift one, but it's from the Nature Preserve in White 2. And it's from... so, if you see every single Pokemon in the regional decks in Black or White 2... Oh, is Black 2 Flower? White 2 might be Sugar. Ooh. Black 2 Flower might be Black 2, because I definitely did the regional decks in Black 2, not White 2. So anyway, I saw all of the regional decks, and in the Nature Preserve is just a guaranteed shiny Haxorus that you'll get. But I did RNG its stats to be all perfect with a Jolly Nature. The set is like a pretty standard DD set. Poison Jab for Fairy coverage, EQ and Outrage, because they're really good coverage, obviously. Mold Breaker, so you can EQ Rotom Wash and laugh at him. And like destroy sturdy Pokemon as well. The name Shadow like that. Okay, so the reason it's named like that is because it's got the color scheme of Shadow the Hedgehog, and the parentheses is from in Zat chat. If you typed, this is how you would type emotes in the Zat chat back in the day. And so it would be a little face of Shadow the Hedgehog. And so like the way the emotes worked, the way the emote meta was, right, is if two people said something at the same time, if you were the one who said something first, you would type Sonic. And that would be like kind of like a haha, like I was faster than you. But if the person who typed something second typed Shadow before that person typed Sonic, it was kind of like an overwrite, just like a funny meme thing. So that's why it's Shadow. It's to represent the emote of Shadow from Zatchat. This is a shiny Gyarados Gold. What game are you from? The Johto region. I, at some point, RNG'd a shiny Gyarados from an egg to do a sub-DD set. This is meant for a Mega Gyarados, it seems. I'm sure I've used it before. I don't know why it's not nicknamed, though. I nickname almost all of my Pokemon. So whenever something's not nicknamed, it's basically just because I forgot. Just a very classic set. A classic shiny as well. Yeah, that's all I got to say about this one. Punch Girl. So this is actually RNG'd from my Ruby version, or my Ruby version, I believe. So, Jolly Nature, with all the elemental punches, because I wasn't sure which ones I wanted, but I wanted to move two of them. Or the two elemental punches that matter, because it doesn't need Fire Punch. And Confusion and Attack, because I just haven't given it the other moves yet. So, basically, back before Admiral Fish fixed Ruby and Sapphire breeding, I was really trying to RNG breed in Ruby and Sapphire. And I couldn't get it done because it's bugged in RNG Reporter. It doesn't work in RNG Reporter. The natures don't line up. However, you can actually accurately RNG for the stats. And so what happened was, while I was RNGing, I got lucky and got the correct nature and stats, but it wasn't shiny. But since it was the correct nature and stats, I actually just kept it. And so this is just like a luck RNG breed almost, a combination of the two. It's meant to be a Mega Metachamp set. And yeah. Just a fun, really powerful wall breaker to utilize. Okay, so this Mawile, I bred two at the same time for two different purposes. If you can see, they're very, very, very slightly different. Maya, I don't know what the name Maya is from. The name, oh man. The name Weil is because obviously Wild Chase, duh. My good friend, she goes by, I think, Elysium nowadays. I don't talk to her very much anymore, but Weil was just like a very, and if you know old school Pokemon YouTubers, you know Weil Chase. So she was a really good friend of mine from back in the Gen 4 and 5 Pokemon days. She's a really cool person, and so sometimes when a name fits, I name Pokemon after my friends from back in the day, even if I don't talk to them very much anymore. Our biggest bond was over the band Bullet for My Valentine, and so I just named Wild Chase. I named this after Wild Chase, and it fits because of Mawile as well, which is very fitting. This is an Adamant Intimidate one with the very standard set. I don't know what's up with Ironhead. I think that was just because of Stab. I probably would switch it out for Thunder Punch. This was probably even meant for VGC as well. Actually, I don't know what this is doing in here. This was bred in this gen. So is this. What are you doing in here? I'll talk about them anyway. I don't know what these two are doing in here. This one is the same thing, but I don't know why it's named Maya. I have no clue. And then also it's for Trick Room teams. That's why it's Brave instead of Adamant. That's the only difference. I prefer Intimidate on this thing because I think it's more versatile. I think you can use Intimidate in like both metas, right? Like if you want to use I don't think Hyper Cutter is bad at all, but I just think Intimidate's like a more versatile ability, I suppose. I don't know. All right, so here we have two Hariyamas. I don't know why I wanted to breed Hariyama pretty badly. Oh, I think I was breeding a perfect version of an in-game team I used. I think that's what was up. These are both bred in my White 1 version. I just wanted a Hariyama with both. I wanted Hariyama with both abilities. Their movesets are only different because of their abilities as well. I wanted to run Facade on a Gut set, Fake Out so I could activate Flame Orb. This one just has a set more accommodating of Sheer Force ability. The name To The Mouth. I used to play League of Legends. Hate that game. A lot. I used to play it a lot. And I liked Trick 2G a lot at the time. And so that was his like signature, like To The Mouth. Hit him to the mouth. And so that's pretty much it. Cool shiny though. And a cool Pokemon. I like Hariyama. So it was meant to be, I was breeding my team. I was breeding a perfect good version of an in-game team I used from, I believe, White 2. This is a shiny Metagross I bred. I don't remember why I bred it. I know it's a recent breed as well. It's from Binary, which is my Black 1. I don't know why I would have bred in Black 1. The name Sterling is because Sterling is a type of silver, and this Metagross sort of looks silverish. It was just meant to be an all-out attacking Mega Metagross set. I think I'd wanted to use it for Mega Metagross, and then Mega Metagross got banned, and so it's just like, now this guy's just chilling here, so what can you do? But Metagross is a really fun Pokemon to use. Alright, moving on to this special attack section. So this is a Dream Radar Pokemon. I don't know why I'm using this form of it. But, just a pretty standard set. I think it's HP Ice. All of my Dream Raider Pokemon I'm very proud of, so I like to have them around. I think this is the one I bred in the video as well, by the way. I think this is the one I bred in my, how to RNG, like, the Theranes video. Ejon is just a cool name. I just kind of was, like, thinking, like, sounding it out again, like, I want to start with an I. Ejon, and that's basically just how I name it. Modest Volt Absorb, I think it's HP Ice, a Double Dance. Very, very cool standard set. I'd probably nowadays replace the Hidden Power with Focus Blast, though, and do a Phytinium Z set, is what I would change this if I were to use it. Banage. Okay, so, I do this thing sometimes where I get, like, I love the Smogon metagames. That's the ones I've been playing my whole life. And I just sometimes, like, read viability rankings discussions, or I just, like, read sets. And sometimes I just get really into a Pokemon. And so, like, what happened was, back in Gen 6, I just got really into Empoleon. And I was like, damn, this is a cool Pokemon. This is a cool tech to run. Running Defog, SR, such a cool combo. Not a lot of Pokemon get SR plus Defog. Super cool. And so I just bred, like, 2 Empoleons. At the time, this one's bred because I freaking love Agility Empoleon or like Subpatai Empoleon. This shit, it's such a sick set, and so that's why this one is existing. Fenlore, I can explain the name, both these names in a second. So this is supposed to be like a Spadef Empoleon that defogs and just kind of passively scald things and can roar out threats that try to set up on it. Just like a very like standard kind of wall bulky Empoleon set. Very cool Pokemon. The name Fawnage. So I did a video series with one of my good friends, Blake. I consider this guy one of my best friends. We did a video series. If you look up Sergio Pokemonski on YouTube, maybe I'll even link to the channel in the description. If any of you are even watching 40 minutes into this video somehow, basically, I had to do hacking to get a Vanillite in Pokemon Heart Gold. We wanted Heart Gold to be the game, and we needed, I can't explain it very well, but I needed to hack Vanillite into the game, and I hacked Vanillite over Piplup, but the testing Piplup I had, I just like randomly named Fawnage, and so now I just name all my Empoleons this, pretty much, because of that like internal meme that only the two of us understand. And so now that's out in the world, and that's why I name it Fawnage. Fenlore, I've already explained the set for this one. Fenlore is just like kind of a take on Fawnage. I wanted another F name, and I just kind of sounded another fun one out. They're both shiny, bred them both. Oh, actually, Fawnage is bred in my Heart Gold because it needed defog, that's why. Fenlore was just bred from Fawnage in probably my white one. Charles Jr. This is a recreation of my starter from White 1. So I didn't like the starters when Black and White first came out, but I knew about these monkey guys, and so I picked Snivy to ditch it specifically for that reason, and I used this as my starter essentially, and it was named Charles. It was a little monkey named Charles. And I bred a idealized version of it post game with RNG, and I named it Charles Jr. because it was bred from Charles in a perfect ditto, and it was just a better version of it with a nasty plot taunt and 2 attacking moves. Never used it in battle once. It's only level 22. Yeah. Okay, so this is one of my most proud RNGs of all time. This is the Thunderous. No, this is not that Thunderous. Never mind. It says pre-6, but it's not pre-6. I don't know what's up with this one. This is just RNG from, this is wrong. This is just a Gen 6 Peacock NT RNG. I don't know why it's in here. But it's just a standard, mega standard Gen 6, Thundy. Thundy Eye. That's pretty much it. So this is just a Volcarona. I RNG'd this in... I want to even say I probably bred this. Oh no, this is from my White 2. This is the, I think this is the White 2 Volcarona stationary encounter I bred, I believe. It's, as you can see, I didn't even change all of its moves. I didn't finish that, but I did EV train it and all that junk. The reason it says its stats aren't perfect is because one of them is like 30 for the hidden power I gave it, which I don't remember which hidden power I gave it, but that's that. Volcarona is a really cool Pokemon. June is the name of the first Volcarona I had. I named it June because of just like June bug. There's like a June bug and fire, and June is summer months. So that was kind of my thoughts. Like, it's a hot bug, pick a hot month. The first Volcarona I have isn't RNG abused, but it's like one of my main, like, I use that mon so much. It had Flame Body and Fly, so like, that was like my breeding king, and so I named a lot of my Volcaronas June after that one, in tribute. Oh, this is Betsy. This is from my Pokemon Red version playthrough on Virtual Console. I did the level 100 Nidoking before Brock glitch, and then shinied it up with 8F. I got it to whatever level you need to be a Timinature. I think it was either like 98 or 99. And then I traded it up and I hyper trained him. And yeah, you can only use these mons in the Smogon meta, so that's why he's in this box. But yeah, I think Nidoking is just a really cool attacker. I just love Sheer Force Life Orb attackers. They're so powerful and fun to use. The name Betsy, I just thought it was funny. That's all I got to say about this boy. I've definitely used him in battle before too. It's cool. We have Pinky. I think I RNG'd this one on a stream at some point. It's named Pinky. I want to say because of like My Little Pony shit, like Pinkie Pie. Don't worry, I'm not a brony. I don't really watch the show, but I do know about her, and it seemed like a pink horse thing. This is just another one when I was trying to RNG all of my all the stationaries, and so I got this one, which the idealized set at the time was a CM sweeping set for Virizion. This was when I wanted to... This was from that project where, like I said, I was breeding all of the black and white versions of Pokemon because it's my favorite game. Derek, just a random name. I literally went to a random name generator type and got Derek. It wasn't even after the friend Derek because this was way before I met him. And so this was just like a fun mixed set for this thing, just to slam people with mixed moves. Probably not the most effective nowadays, but it's just a cool Pokemon. Virtual Console Articuno, same thing as the Nidoking, except I didn't do 8F to make it shiny, but I did make it timid. This is meant to be sort of a just attacking Articuno set. I don't much have else to say about it. The nickname Snowstorm is from my first parakeet from when I was a little kid. It was like a blue and white parakeet. I love parakeets to death, and so I named it Snowstorm in Snowstorm's honor. Sunny, also named after my second parakeet. Who was like a more colorful summery bird. So, and I named the first one after like a weather condition. So I named the second parakeet after a weather condition as well. And I think Moltres sort of fits that bill as well. And then this is just sort of another bog standard. I did the same thing. It's probably hyper trained. Yep. Just leveled it up to the appropriate level to get the timid nature, and then wanted the hidden ability to punish U-turns and whatnot. I don't think I have too much else to say about this Moltres. I've never used it in battle because I finished it very recently. Oh, oops. And we're getting to the final page here. So this is I have some fun stories about the stuff on this page. So Flower, Dream Radar Ball, obviously another Therian form RNG from the Dream Radar. This one is Hasty. This was before, so this was actually for Gen 5 before it was banned in Gen 5. No, it wasn't. It might have been, was Hasty like the popular nature in Gen 6? I think that's why. DLN006, seriously, I can't remember what this nickname's for. I can't remember. It was for a reason, but I don't know what it was from. Maybe if I Google it, I'll pause. Oh, it's okay. I really like Mega Man 9, and DLN066 is Dr. Light number 66 Tornado Man. Tornado Man is green and uses tornadoes, and that is what this name is from. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot it. So that is what that's why it's named that. Tornadoes is just a really fun mon to use. Super good Pokemon, by the way, but really fun to use. Suicune, oh, you're from Heart Gold. Yeah, this is from my Heart Gold or my Soul Silver, I believe. Just a standard-ass Crocoon, except it's Scald nowadays instead of Roar like Surf like it used to be. Standard Mon. It's named Breeze just because Suicune is not only water, but like kind of windy based, especially with the tails it's got going on there. Just a cool Pokemon. I've always loved Suicune. Crystal's a very, very precious Pokemon game to me, so it was just a fun RNG to get all of the good stats on this thing and have like a fun defensive Pokemon. Rocky, so I love Azelf in the same... So first of all, this is from my white one, or white 2. It's the stationary one. I love Azelf in the same regard that I love Garchomp. If you can notice, it's a suicide lead, which obviously isn't the most popular thing to do nowadays. However, Azelf is really good at it. My favorite thing to do, and this is another thing me and my friend Blake like to do, is build teams with Azelf on it. And sometimes I won't even click Stealth Rock. I'll literally just click Explosion turn 1 because I just love this. I just love blowing stuff up with Azelf. It comes from Gen 4 nostalgia. It's named Rocky as like a fun joke about Stealth Rock. That's it. So I've used this mod many times, or definitely different Azelfs many times, just to click Explosion, click Stealth Rocks. It's so fun to use, just to like not give a crap about the Pokemon that you have out. It's just so fun. Something freeing about it. These Mesprits, I don't got too much to say about them. I just RNG'd them because I wanted to RNG the Mesprits in my games that were remaining. I don't like Mesprit very much. Not a big fan. As you can see, I didn't even finish either of their movesets, but I did EV train them and I did RNG them properly. But I don't have too much else to say about them. Oh, it's Dreadlocks. The name is supposed to be like Dreadlocks. And this one is Goldilocks because it's shiny. And Dreadlocks combo. This was just a Gengar I bred in my black one for a Specs set. That's it. Gengar is really cool. I got really hyped at the beginning of Sun and Moon because Specs Gengar was such a threat. And so, like I said, I get into Pokemon sometimes. And I'm about to show you Pokemon I get into, so. Kyurem. I went through a phase where I thought Kyurem was the coolest Pokemon ever. So for the record, the mild one is meant to be a Kyurem Black, I think. But I didn't fuse it. I don't know why. The other three are all meant to be attacking. So Ninop, don't know what's up with that name, but that's what I named it. It's for my black one. It's meant to be a Kyurem Black. I did EV train it and I did RNG it, but I didn't fuse it. I don't know why. So this is Kyurem. It's from one. This could be from my white too. Seems to be from one of my white versions. Don't remember which. The name Kyurem I think is funny. I love the little happy square face. I think that's hilarious. This was from in Gen 6. Specs Kyurem was getting kind of hype in OU. And this thing, nothing can switch into like Specs Ice Beam, and so that's what that was from. And then this one, Deke, is also the same type of thing. This is from another white version. It's basically the same exact set, except this one is meant to be a modest Specs. That's the only difference. No difference besides that. And Flash Cannon is for the fairy coverage. So Specs Kyurem was getting hype. Nothing could really switch to the Specs Kyurem. That was pretty much the thing. This Kyurem, is a clone of the first Kyurem. Except it's meant to be Subroost, which is the popular set for Sun and Moon, and I used it in a recent battle, which I will be uploading to the channel soon, for hilarity, for just a metronome set. You just sub-metronome and just muscle through Pokemon. Very fun to use. This is a Celebi I RNG'd a few years ago. It is a real Winter 2011 Celebi that I just didn't receive a gift for because I was intending back in the day to soft reset for a good nature and stuff, but I never did. However, I did do Wonder Card RNG on this, which is the worst. The worst! You have to basically RNG the stats and then hope you get the proper nature that you want over and over and over again. But this was meant to be a nasty plot UU sweeping Celebi. Very cool set. This is just a roaming Raikou I RNG'd in my Soul Silver version, I believe. With HP Ice. So it's a perfect HP Ice set if you look at the spread. If you notice, the defense is fantastic and the attack's pretty good. Those are very intentional. Roaming RNG is always kind of a pain, so it's fun that I got this. I probably never used it, but it's just a cool set. I don't know, it's got Combined and Volt Switch. So I gotta pick a good set, but a lot of these Pokemon I'll change the moves around on, assuming I EV'd them okay. The name is Raikou because that's how I used to pronounce it for a long time. I used to say Raikou instead of Raikou. So this is a Sceptile from my Japanese Sapphire playthrough on stream. It's named Lick, as a Liku. it is meant to be a Mega Sceptile. It is hyper trained, and I traded it all the way up from my Gen 3 game. Very fun to use this in a playthrough. It's a very cool shiny, and that's all I have to say about it. I don't know if I've used it in a playthrough yet, or at a battle yet, but it's a very fun Pokemon. Oh man, okay, so this is a Heatran from what game? This I want to say is White 2 or Black 2. This is White 2, and this one's Black 2. Okay, so this is a White 2, I think. Oof, it's getting hard for me to remember, but this is White 2. Heatran. Heatran is just such a good Pokemon. It's usable in every single gen. It's good in every gen since it's appeared. Stealth Rock, Magma Storm, Taunt. This is like a standard, like, Trap Pex, Trap Chansey. They can't hurt you even a little bit, and you chip them down with Magma Storm and prevent them from healing, and you set up rocks, etc., etc. Very, 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 very bog standard. It's named Doctor because of a old animated video called Dr. Tran. I recommend checking it out. I remember it being funny. I don't know if it's problematic in the current day, but that's all I gotta say. Fire Spider. This one might have been RNG Live. I remember someone telling me to name this, but that could have just been my girlfriend. This is a more stally Heatran set. Toxic, Lava Plume, Taunt, Stealth Rock. Seems like a garbage set. Seems like a Spadef set. Don't know if I would ever use this in modern times, but yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool Heatran. They're both the one where you get like the Magma Rock and you RNG it in the cave where you team up with Bianca in Black and White 2. That's where both of them are from. So this is a Event Keldeo, another legit event that I got at the time and RNG'd. I literally left this in my game for years. God, you don't understand. I still have Pokemon in my White 2 and Black 2 that I've not picked up yet. That I got from... Actually, I got it 2012 with the intention of RNGing or soft resetting and then wanting to RNG later and just never did. For real. This is for real. This shit's for real. That's why it's not nicknamed as well. Even though I could have RNG'd and etc. It's hard to explain, but I could have RNG'd like a trainer ID and reset one of my games, etc. I want to say it's HP Electric with Secret Sword, Hydro Pump, Scald. This was meant to be like a spec set. Oh man, who was HP Electric for? I couldn't tell you. But, yeah, it's just a very standard Keldeo set. Such a threat. I finally RNG'd it around the time of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when Keldeo was a huge threat. So, that's what it's for. This is an OG Ment I bred in my English, ooh, are you? No, it's an English game. I bred it in my English Diamond. Just meant to be a lore specs Ments before Ments was banned in Gen 4. That's pretty much it. Alright, so as you can see, I had a bit of a Latias obsession at the time. So, actually, this Latias is not from the obsession. This is Cheesy Girl. This is from my... Ruby, I think. Now, Cheesy Girl is either from... Cheesy Girl's either the Roamer I RNG'd to be shiny or in Ruby and then Hyper Trained. Oops. Or I think it's the Hyper Trained one. But it also could be from Southern Island. I can't recall. As you can see, I've not even changed this moveset, but it is EV trained and ready to go. Shiny Latias just looks cool, and I love RNGing in the Ruby Sapphire. So, I had a bit of an obsession with the Latis for quite a while. So, the reason that happened was because back when I was like learning about how good Defog was in Gen 6, I just got obsessed, and I literally RNG'd every single Lati in every single game I have. So, I can explain where they're all from. So, Jake is from Soul Silver. This is the Roamer I RNG'd. He's got Defog, Roost, Draco Meteor. He's timid. Cool. This one is from Black and White 2. This one, I RNG'd this one first, only to realize I can't get Defog on it at the time, because Defog wasn't a tutor available for it when I RNG'd it, and so that was very sad. And so this is just your standard attacking, roosting Latios set. I could make this something else if I wanted to, but that's what it is. The name, I have no idea what's up with the name. Dryan is a name based on my friend Brian. It's just like a dumb meme. We just call him Dryan sometimes. I don't know why. I don't even remember how it started. This was from my Heart Gold, I think. I think this is from my Heart Gold. It's not the Roamer. It's event with the Enigma Stone. So that's what he is. And I don't know what HP, which hidden power he has. Probably fire, if I had to guess. But another defogger. I wanted to get as many defogging Latis as I possibly could. So, this one... Who are you? Jake? So, this is the Enigma Stone one from my Soul Silver. Or no. This is the Roamer from my Soul Silver, or the Enigma... I can't remember which one it is, but it's shiny, and it actually uses the same exact... If you looked at the PID, as the same exact PID as this... Oh, no, it's from my... Oh, gold. Frick. It's from my Soul Silver, and I think it's the Roamer, not the Enigma Stone, but they have the same PID, actually. So this one actually... it doesn't even... It says it has all perfect stats, but it doesn't have perfect defense. It's the same exact spread as the Raikou. And this is because I just wanted the shiny spread, and so I opted to have 30 in defense instead of 31, just so I could have a shiny Latias. I think it's Enigma Stone. I want to say it's Enigma Stone. And then I want to say this Latias is from that game as the Roamer. It's from a Soul Silver game, so whichever one is the opposite. This is the Roamer from my Heart Gold. So then this one's definitely Enigma Stone and Soul Silver. So this is the Roamer in Heart Gold. I couldn't get it shiny. I just didn't have any good, timid, shiny spreads. And I really wanted a shiny spread, so that's why I gave up the 31 defense for this one. It's named Bianca after the movie. I love that movie. And so I named it after the character in that movie. And it's just another same standard defog set. Except this one's meant to be a Scarf defog with Healing Wish to kill itself. This one is not. This one's meant to be a bit more longevity. Then this is the one from White 2, where it's just kind of like a standard utility set. It's kind of a lame set. It's not shiny because, man, I guess I was just lazy. Because you can get a perfect shiny spread if you're just willing to wait enough. But I guess I was just lazy, and I didn't want to do it. But it's from White or Black, whichever one gets you the Latias. This is a non-shiny from my girlfriend's white version. She let me back up her save file and reset the game and play through the game to RNG Thundy. And it's named C9 after Cloud9 because I love Mango, and I've loved Mango before he was a C-. I've been a Mango fan from Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube. I've been a Mango fan since 2008, 2007, and so but I did name it after his team. This Thundurus. Nope. Which one? This Thundurus. I can't believe I didn't nickname it, but it's my most proud achievement probably in RNG. It is the roaming Thundurus. I RNG'd to be shiny. This shit was a pain. This is the one from the video you saw. I can't believe I forgot to nickname it. Damn. But it's just your standard Thundy set with T-Wave, HP Ice, Focus Blast, T-Bolt. It's a very, 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 very standard Thundy set. But it's my proud achievement because it's very hard. This is the one from Dream Radar. I did reset Dream Radar. So I have two of these. I did reset Dream Radar and then I sent it to the other game. So I think I sent it to another game. Did I name both of my games Flower? No, yeah. This was to my White 2 maybe, and this was to my Black, or it could be the other way around. I can't recall properly. But again, named C9. I just named all of them C9 apparently. That's what I was into. And these are my Manaphies. I got 3 Manaphies from resetting the game to oh man, one of them shiny, right? Are none of these shiny? I got no shiny Manaphies. These are just the Manaphy from I do have a shiny Manaphy RNG somewhere chilling, but this is a Manaphy's from the Ranger games. I would just use I would just extract the save file and use like a 3DS homebrew app to wipe the save file completely to get the extra Manaphies. The name Vinny, don't remember why. I just think maybe My Cousin Vinny, the movie. Amandaphy, my girlfriend's name is Amanda, and you can put it into a Manaphy, so I thought that was funny. That's why I did that, literally. I don't know why I have multiple of these. I think for just different lore sets, like Psychic to Lore Toxapex. This is just, I don't know, HP Electric for Mantine, maybe? I don't know. And Nonan, I don't know. I think this is just like the funny naming scheme I have. like where I would just be like, no, man, sounds good to me. And so I had a 3 mana fees here. And that does it for all of my pre-Gen 6 Pokemon. Whew! I hope you thought this video was fun. Thanks to literally anyone who's still sticking around and watched this whole freaking video. It's an hour and 5 minutes. And the only other thing I would like to do is, I think I have a few more in here chilling. This is just my training box. I'll go over the ones that are from pre-Gen 6 stuff. This Latias is from my Ruby or Sapphire on-stream playthrough. It's adamant. Traded it up. Have to hyper train it, I think. Yeah, it's just not hyper trained yet, but I got it to 100. Groudon's good, but I don't care about Ubers. That's why it's not done yet. This Cress is from my White 2, the one on the bridge, or what? Or Black 2. I can't remember which one's Flower or not. Dang it! But it's from the bridge. Cresselia is a really cool Pokemon. But I didn't train it because I care much more about Cresselia for Trick Room teams, and so I haven't been able to utilize it yet. This is one that I 8F'd up from the Game Boy games and cloned and glitched and stuff. These two, these two are Gen 7 ones. I'll go over them then. This is one, it's actually pretty much done training. I just have to evolve it and give it moves. This was from the same thing as like the Darmanitan and Sandy and the Excadrill, where I bred a bunch of the lower forms and just never trained them or anything like that. It's named Reef because it's kind of chill out. Nope. Another one of the 8F Mews. So this one's named Hard Hat after Mega Man. This is a Uxie that's not quite done yet, but it's from my... I want to say Platinum. My original Japanese Platinum that I RNG'd. And then this one is from my White 2, where is same place as a Zelf. I just never finished it, because Bold Uxie's not very useful. That's basically why it's not finished. This is from Black 2, probably, it seems. And I don't know why. I think it's meant to. I think this is the one that's meant to be merged with my mild QREM that I've never re-merged it with. Nope. So this is from the Game Boy, where I 8F'd it to be shiny to get a hidden ability, Friend Guard Clefairy. Assface is the same thing as the Tortuga here. Like I said, I brought a bunch of them as like babies to have good stats and stuff, and I just never finished it, and so I just have to level it up and evolve it and stuff. It'll be fun to utilize one day, hopefully in battle. It's actually got a good moves already as well, and I could even probably change its ability to have Sandstorm or whatever. I can't even recall the Sandstream. I could just change its ability with an ability capsule. So that does it for all of my pre-Gen 6 Pokemon. So from Gens 3, 4, and 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Special thanks to Brian, my channel member, who suggested this video. You are awesome. I love all of my channel members. And I love all of my viewers. Anyone who watched this, I imagine this is more of a podcasting thing. You listen to the whole video. But shouts to anyone who listened to all or most of this video. You guys are all awesome. And I'll see you next video in this series, which should be just the next day. I just want to thank my channel members so much. You guys are amazing. Without this kind of support, I wouldn't be able to put out the videos I do, and I wouldn't be able to stream as frequently. Thanks so much. If you want to consider becoming a member, just click the join button underneath this video or at my channel page. It's only $4.99 a month. It really helps me out. I'm extremely uncomfortable doing these kinds of plugs, but I'm doing it anyway because the money helps. And if you can't or don't want to, don't feel bad. I'm just asking because, yeah. Thanks so much, guys. You're all amazing. See you next video.